Hello, everyone.
Good morning, or afternoon, or what is it? Is it afternoon?
It's afternoon.
For us, probably morning for some other people, right?
Or night for others. I think, we're talking about travel today. So even though this is going on my regular channel, it's from the Plant-Based Explorers.
Right.
And if you're watching on the Plant-Based Explorers,
Welcome!
Yay! And if you're not subscribed, please look down below. Subscribe to the Plant-Based Explorers so that we can take you on our travels and talk about eating plant-based while we're out in the world. And we're trying some new camera-y things today, so keep your fingers crossed for us.
So let's give you a little background in case you don't know who we are. Kathy is Kathy Hester of Kathy Hester Cooks on YouTube. She is a vegan cookbook author. She has 12.
I got a bunch of cookbooks.
She got a bunch of books, 10 or 11 of them traditionally published. She's a pretty accomplished person, and
we don't need to do this. I just was going to say, let's start that over. I was getting ready to start the intro.
Okay,
and I'll let you do it. Go, in case you don't know who we are, I'm Kathy, and I make vegan recipes, plant-based recipes, and allergy-friendly ideas. And Cheryl.
And I'm Cheryl, and I live with Kathy. We're married, and I'm having a really hard time with words today, which I don't usually have a problem with.
You're going to have to eat your rice while
I haven't had anything to eat yet, so I'm a little airheady. I get a little airheady when I haven't had a lot to eat.
So she's Cheryl.
I'm Cheryl.
The other half, she does most of the technical stuff for this channel. And
customer support.
You've probably dealt with her on customer support a time or two. And basically, we decided while we were researching some of our travel choices, we weren't seeing a lot. Like, especially right now, we're kind of concentrating on cruising. We're going to be breaking out to before and after, different places we eat, different places we travel. But there definitely was a lack of talking about vegan food and cruising. So that's kind of where we're starting off. And if you just like us and want to see us have vacations and you're not interested in cruising, welcome. That is also equally well. And I see a few people are on, and hello everyone. Hello CJ and Melissa and Jill, Tanya, and Georgia, which is awesome. And Tanya says, I'm laughing so hard, Cheryl. Yeah.
Well, my brain's not braining today. It's a hard brain.
Will you
day.
eat while we're doing this, please? She doesn't like to eat on camera, and I'm
I'll just have a few bites and I'll be good.
Okay, well, anyhow, and if you guys have some questions about what we're doing, Cheryl put together some filming of kind of without any talking. We're going to talk over that and kind of explain some of the things we did. I haven't seen any of it, so it's going to be very exciting. This whole day is exciting, and we do go and travel tomorrow. So we're going to be traveling 1 to 2 times a month, at least for the first half of the year, if not more. Don't worry, if you're in Kathy's Cooking Club, those classes are still going to happen. Everything's going to happen as usual. It's just our lives are a little more compacted in and scheduled. And we've got house sitters coming to look because they're going to take care of our beautiful kitties. So do you want to start talking about the trip and how that came about?
So how all this started was we actually won a silent auction in November for the vegan holistic cruise that we have been eyeballing for several years.
Yes,
and
definitely.
We just always were like, it's not really affordable for us, and then also
expensive.
With my work at the time, getting off for that amount of time and things would be very difficult. I had to be in constant contact because I did tech support, and then I got laid off.
And here we are,
And here we
traveling.
are.
Yay!
So anyhow, we decided we needed a tester cruise because neither one of us had ever been on a cruise before, and everybody was like, "Oh, you better make sure you don't get seasick." And so then we got all panicky.
And a lot of our friends get motion sick and seasick, and like even in the car, they get car sick. And I wasn't really connecting the two, which was kind of silly because motion sickness is motion sickness. But I can be in the back of the car and work for 12 hours on the computer, and I don't have any issues. But we definitely decided Tanya, if anybody is trying to tune in on Chew channels, tune in on anyone you want.
Exactly.
We will eventually start doing these live only on the Plant-Based Explorer, and we are trying to grow that channel. So if you would subscribe and like over there, the Plant-Based Explorers, that'd be super helpful. But with the cruising and things, so
we were like, we're going to be on a boat for
7 days.
And then we started getting really nervous, and we were like, can we do that? So we decided to find a tester cruise.
And we talked to our friend's travel agent, and we had found one I was interested in that was kind of inexpensive, but it was going to really push our schedule. So we signed up for one in January, which is the one we're going to go on. There is more to this story. And Virgin Voyages is what we're going to go on, which is actually one of the most vegan-friendly cruises people are saying. So we'll tell you what we think. And then the cruise I've always dreamed of going on with Celebrity Cruise in Spa.
Aqua class.
Aqua class. It's the spa class. So you get to go and lay on the heated loungers whenever you want and go in the steam room. And we got it for less than we probably could have gotten a plane ticket to go round trip to Miami.
It was a ridiculous deal. It was a 3-day quick
cruise, but we paid before taxes and tips and all that, it was $296 a person, which then it ended up being about $1,000 for both of us to go. And that's the one we're going to talk about today. So we actually went with a couple of friends who came with us after they found out how cheap and juicy it was going to be, which was lovely. And then Elizabeth, who's in the community, if you're on my side of the community, you've probably seen Elizabeth. Actually, even with your
Elizabeth is actually on a cruise right now, and she has actually been sending me pictures all morning from the cruise. Yeah.
And that's Elizabeth Markowitz. She's delightful, and we're actually going on another cruise with her in February. So, and it's very interesting. She is also in the McDougall program, and Stacy Cross, who is one of the support specialists, has an article about eating healthy vegan on cruises, or whole food plant-based, which is really pretty cool. Thanks so much. Tanya said she liked and subscribed. And hey guys, so there is a whole new channel. I see more people are coming in, called the Plant-Based Explorers. Still just us.
Just us.
Only not about food.
Every now and then we might have on a shirt that has a little logo on it.
Yeah. Well, and it's actually, I just realized I lied to you all. It's not that it's not about food. It's not only about food. And so we were on the Celebrity Silhouette,
which was a lovely, lovely first cruise.
It really was. And actually, if you're looking to try a cruise like we did and you're not sure, they do these 3-day cruises. They're quite easy. They're inexpensive. They may not be as inexpensive to stay in Aqua class as ours was, but you can probably get an ocean view room, or even stay inside if you wanted to, which we're going to do in some upcoming cruises
too. All the time, just, check out the sales on their site, and sometimes they have like, I think the last promotion just ended, but it was like person in the room free or 50% off or something like that.
One thing I will tell you guys that I am learning is so when I told Robin, because I was really panicked because I saw a sale, saw an end date, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I? And she's like, there's always a sale. There are always, every once in a while throughout the year, there'll be something super special, but it seems like, and I'll tell you as we go along in the next 6 months, but it seems like either last minute or within 90 days, or Elizabeth is actually on here from the cruise. That's
talking
hilarious.
about you. We were just talking about you. I was just saying that you were sending me pictures from the cruise this morning, and that we were really excited to see them.
That's hilarious. But so there, for those of you who don't know much about cruises, I'm just learning. So some of you know way more than I do. So there's older ships and newer ships, kind of like older hotels and newer hotels, right? Because a cruise is kind of like going to an all-inclusive floating resort or a hotel that floats around that includes all your stuff. Some of the older ones look older and they feel older, and there's one line that we want to go on just to see what will happen, but I'm not quite ready for that. Has been described as a floating Motel 6. So do your research.
We're so curious on that one.
Yeah,
We're so curious.
I want to. Supposedly you can eat vegan on it, so so we'll talk about that at some point. So the Celebrity Silhouette is an older ship, but it's been redone. And if you think of any of, like, you go to Hilton Garden Inn, either it feels like this lush experience or like it's really threadbare and worn. And so that's kind of the same thing that we're talking about. So I had been reading a lot of cruise forums, and I was like, okay, I thought Celebrity was going to be super fancy and nice and plush. I'm toning it down. I was really
her expectations were
really
just kept,
low.
every time she'd talk about it, she would put her expectations a little lower because it was an older ship.
And I went in and I was completely wowed. And there's as many different kinds of cruise ships and cruise lines as there are people. And there you can be the person who dances all night and parties all night on the same boat as us, who will sit on the balcony and who will wander around and have 3-hour long, meals chatting. So what's kind of cool about cruises is you can do it your way. And you can even change what you do from one day to another. And I also like to think of it as kind of a sampling of places. So when you go into port, you're not there a long time. But you could see if that's something you wanted to plan a vacation around, perhaps. How would you feel like that?
Yeah, no, I like, I like the idea of like a tasting menu of ports, so that you can kind of figure out where's the place that you might like to go spend a week at, or something like that that interests you enough, that just captures you enough that you do that kind of stuff. So yeah, her expectations were pretty low, and I
didn't want to get disappointed.
She did want
I didn't want to get disappointed.
And I had read that they had just refurbished the ship before they came on their transatlantic back over to the States. And I have to say that we were immediately impressed. We didn't even know what to think walking in. We didn't know what to expect. We also were like, okay, we've only got 3 days, so we can't do everything, so we need to just kind of just try to get the vibe and just try to get our sea legs on and see how we do. And we actually had the doctor prescribe us some pills for motion sickness in case we got sick, and we had, whole 9 yards. But neither one of us had to use them.
No, we didn't. It wasn't, you could feel the boat moving and things like that, but it wasn't, really crazy. At first, I felt a little bit weird when we first took off. Remember,
you said
I didn't know what was going on.
It was like, I think you felt the vibration of the ship moving. I think because it started having like a shaky vibration for a few minutes, and I think that's what you felt.
It was something like that, because I am super sensitive to movement and noise and things like that. But I just had a little ginger ale and I was fine. I brought ginger chews, which we didn't need, and ginger tea. We had the little bands. We didn't use those, but we might in another setting for sure. But yeah, walking on, it was very interesting. Elizabeth and her husband actually picked us up at the hotel where we were, which was so nice.
Yeah, they took a lot of that first time jitters of like trying to get there and figure out where to be and all that. They took all that stress off of us by helping us, by getting us there, and then kind of like holding our hand through the whole entry process, which was fantastic. And then we got some great touring of the ship by Elizabeth, who showed us where everything was so that we didn't completely just walk around not knowing where to go. So.
Well, and that I over-research everything. You guys that follow me know, right? Like you'll say, let's learn how to make that. I'm like, okay, but I need a little while to figure some of it out.
She does. She goes down rabbit holes really, really deep.
And I like to really have some amount of knowledge to compare what my experiences are. It's how I am.
Yeah.
And so what I've seen a lot is that I've seen that people say, drop off your luggage and explore the ship. And I kept seeing that. And I was like, okay, but what if I'm hungry? What if I'm this? What if I'm that? I had kind of an argumentative stance in my mind with that. Cheryl says, how rare? How rare? Like, I am a Taurus. I get an idea in my head, and you have to go against that wall a few times, but I listen. And I might say, no, and then in the morning I'll wake up and I'll be like, when we were talking about this, I think you're right, let's try that. And she's always like, the first few times you're like, what? But it just takes me a while to kind of go along that road.
And once we get to where we're going, like after she's like researched it to death, once we get where we're going, everything changes. Because then it's just like,
then I get the vibe.
What do I feel like today? And it could be nothing that we even talked about or planned about. Like, it could require us to drive an hour away. I mean, it just, like, you just never know. It
but
just
you're like that
this
too.
big.
Like we both are vibe people. So, like, what I mean is we've gone on, like, we went to Disney World with someone who is not a vibey person as much. I felt like it was, these are my goals. I want to make sure I get there. Whereas if we're at Disney,
we just wander around.
We
We don't have any specific rides that we want to go on. Like, we have a few that we really like and we would like to go on. But if we go by and it's a huge wait time, we're just like, we'll catch it another time. It's like we just kind of get into the moment. We kind of wander around and do our thing. We don't have these like strict things that we.
I think our lives, even though Cheryl is kind of going from this corporate regimented to kind of my, things change because it just depends. Like, I knew if we didn't get this video out before we went on next vacation, it was going to hang over our head the whole vacation.
Absolutely.
And so that's one of the reasons why we're going perhaps a little unprepared, but we'll see what happens.
Well, and part of the thing was, this is a new thing for us, and we might have got caught up in the whole thing enough that I may not have gotten enough content that I should have.
But okay, and actually I wanted to talk to you about that, and I'll talk to you guys about this. Let's have this as a whole sort of thing. Is when you're starting something new, you have to give yourself a break.
Yeah.
You're not going to do it perfectly. It's a learning experience. It's like jumping off point. So this cruise for us was a lot about seeing if we were going to like it. It's really
seeing if we could even do
it. And it was right around and then that I was like, no, I think we're really going to do the travel channel. At first we were like, okay, we'll do the travel channel for this project we were doing. And then I like quadrupled down.
She did.
When I make a business decision, I make a business decision.
She does.
So it's important that we let people know things aren't perfect. They probably will never be, even when we're prepared and we're, doing all the things. There are going to be mistakes and things aren't going to be perfect. And that's the beauty of hanging out with people, is seeing that imperfections.
Well, and you guys know us, and like some of our best lives are by the seat of our pants. So
Yeah. And so actually we were talking, we're in another video group and Cheryl's like, I'm just really stressed now about this. She's like, why don't you just run the footage and have a live?
Yeah.
Because that's something you're comfortable with. And so that's what we're doing now, kind of giving you that thing. But like, so it's okay that we didn't get footage. I know I took more pictures than I can find.
cannot find
I'm
half
missing
the
like
stuff.
3 meals on my phone, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So we have some plans to do some better filming and things like that. Oh yeah, Ob says we need to chat. I'm all about plant-based. Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And one of the things we have friends, Jill and Wayne, who are in the Chapel Hill Plant-Based Pod that you guys know about sometimes. They do online stuff too. They cruise a lot. So when we were starting to do this, we talked to them. We talked to some other couples we know who've cruised a lot. And they, were like, you need to go on Virgin Voyages, which is what we're doing. And Virgin is going to be very different. It's a different vibe. And it should be the perfect vibe, but we'll find out. Again, I'm lowering my expectations as we speak so that I can be properly impressed. Like, it's very hard for me when I have really high expectations and I get disappointed, but it's very delightful to have lower expectations and be delighted, right? And so I'm looking at some of the stuff that I think will be hardest for me. Like I'm watching videos on getting around the ship, where things are, because we don't have Elizabeth to give us a tour this time. Right. Elizabeth, you're letting us down. That's all I have to say. No, I'm just kidding.
We're going to get you on a Virgin cruise yet.
Oh, we absolutely are. But like one of the things that was so cool about going on this ship then, so like we've never been to a port. We've never gone through embarkation. I'm like, what a fancy word. Why do people use it? Right? And so we were there and literally Elizabeth was like taking point, showing us all the things, telling us all. I mean,
she was like the perfect tour guide.
Oh my gosh. Yes, she was. She was amazing. And we were with another friend who does cruise a lot, had been on Celebrity, and but Elizabeth really just kind of, she was so gracious about it too. She's like, do you want me to show you around the ship? And I'm like, yeah. Do I want to eat later today? Yeah, absolutely. Because I am directionally impaired too.
She is.
Like if we're in a different city, I just put the walking directions on my Apple phone so I know where I'm going, and I'm just not good with that. So I was a little.
If I drive a different way to the grocery store, it completely throws her off, and she'll be like, "Where are we?
Where are we going?
Where are we going?
Did you change your mind? Did you forget where we're going?" Hey Angie, it's awesome to see you. Oh, that's great. Whatever floats your boat.
Oh,
I bet
that.
you must be a cruiser as well. We've have our first cruise under our belt, going for a second.
Yeah.
But the Celebrity Silhouette, like I walked in and literally it was like ballroom glory. Like it was super fancy and plush carpet. And then when you kind
It
of...
was so plush, it was hard to push the suitcases.
It was. Like, we've got the 4 wheels, and I have everything stacked up. We'll talk about that at some point. Like, I have it down how I cannot hurt my back and carry the most amount of things with me on a traveler.
It is a little bit ridiculous.
Well, but you're always like, let's go get a bell cart. I'm like, I got us. Give me both the suitcases. I will load them up the way they need to be loaded up so they can carry everything for us. But, so it was really interesting, and it was in December, so there were like gingerbread houses and Christmas trees. It wasn't super Christmassy, but...
It wasn't over the top Christmas, and I liked that.
Right,
I liked that. I just had a little bit of like, ooh, it's going to be Christmas.
Yeah, and sometimes there'd be a little bit of Christmas music. There was some beautiful art, and we'll probably should we start playing the thing while we're talking about this?
We can just let this run while we're talking. We'll kind of give you the play-by-play. Oh, that's awesome.
That's awesome. Angie says, I get so lost on the ship. Thank goodness for my husband to get me where I need to go. I know. Well, I was thinking, too, like, I don't know if you can GPS your room because you're moving.
That might be what you need to do.
No, but you're moving.
Oh, that's right. You could.
So I bet you can't do it. But anyhow, it wasn't so hard, and I managed mostly. I did walk around a couple times by myself.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of good signage.
I always stayed with somebody the whole time. Like it was I was either with Elizabeth or I was with Jeremy and Helene or just Jeremy most of the time because I don't know. I got a little nervous wandering around. I was afraid I was going to get lost.
It's only a 3-day cruise, so we just had enough time to get a taste and to not be ready to leave, which I think is really kind of the sticking point. So we don't have a 7-day cruise until March, I think is our first one.
Yeah.
And I think then we might have 2. So hopefully we like it. All right, so I'm going to do my best to place. I know there is at least one loud sound in here. It's not supposed to have any sound, but let's see what happens.
We could. For you. The boat. And we thought, okay, we go down this little corridor and we turn and that's it. Oh no. No, that was just the start
Right, so
of getting on the boat.
right, so
Or ship. I should be calling it a ship, I guess.
Oh, you can't hear us if we're talking. You can't hear us at all? Uh-oh.
Oh, go to.
But
Why can't they hear us?
I don't know. It looks like it's showing. It must not be showing through here. That's the... Okay, here we go.
We'll get it fixed.
So, evidently, we can't do that and have sound, which is weird because I've done it before.
Yeah.
So let me try just moving it on here. You can hear us now. Okay, we're going to try this again. We didn't have time to test this, so this is what we were talking about. So I'm going to try again. You can hear us now. So, it's weird because...
Can you hear us when the movie's playing?
No, they could hear us when we move to this.
Okay.
That's very clear.
Interesting.
Yeah, not on the video.
Okay.
Okay. I know there's something we may have to do, and I'm not sure what that is. Yeah, you can hear us fine now, but we want to play the video. I wonder... Let me try this. And what happens if I put this in here? Can you hear us now?
Can you still hear us?
I know it'll take them a minute.
Pick camera source.
Oh, you could hear us when the video was going. We could hear you after a delay. Okay.
Okay.
All right, then we're going back.
We'll go back. All right.
Okay, so you can hear us. There's just a delay. All right, so here we are. We're talking. There's me. Okay, good. So wave, tell us. Okay, everything's good. Okay. Whew.
Okay, cool.
Because that was scary.
So there may be a little delay between what's happening and what we're saying. So we'll be saying something before you see it then. So what I was talking about before was how long of a process it is.
Oh, there is no sound on the video. There's just us talking over the video.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no sound on the video at all.
And that little hill was steep. You saw me, I was like, I'm about to lose my bags. But you see how I have everything piled up there? We were one thing a person.
Yeah, we flew into this one, so we had to kind of be limited in what we take. Because I think if you guys know us, if we drive in the car, it's like no holds barred. Like we take everything in the kitchen sink.
I have to dress better if you're going to film me like this. Like, I don't have the good bra on. Like, it's not a good side view.
But, I mean, you also got
That's a travel.
You also got to think that little camera thing is like the closer it gets to something, the more it like blows it out. So.
One can hope. One can hope.
So, you know, we were like, okay, this one's it. This one's it. Nope.
Right? And I'm like,
one more time, and just this time
That's we're laughing. We're laughing about it because I'm like,
she's like having to now push it with two hands, right? Because it's getting steeper, and she's pushing it up this thing.
and it's so heavy, y'all. We overpacked. We always overpack, but we like for real overpacked. And you know,
So that,
you could have cut some of this out.
Yeah, but no, I think it's hilarious. No, I think it's
You think it's hilarious because it's me and not you.
But just how long it takes to actually get to this point.
Okay.
And then here we get here and we're like, what do we do? And I'm just supposed to merge. And Kathy's like, I'm just going.
I know, which I never do, but I was like, I'm not, we're going. And that they have hand sanitizer. Yeah, that suitcase has 4 wheels. It has 4 wheels. It's just like...
It just has 100 pounds on top.
It does. It does. My backpack's probably heavier than my actual... that's what I need, Susan. A little motor on that suitcase. I like that idea.
There we're all getting
and
our
so
hand sanitizer.
Elizabeth is there in the red. Oh,
and she is turning into proper tour guide, and we're
zipper merge. Yes, it was a zipper merge.
And we are like all like, let's figure out how to get to the place with the least amount of resistance at this point.
And I'm like, why is there carpet?
And the carpet is so plush.
And that is why
so
I'm leaning it over. I'm just like, 2 wheels. We're 2-wheeling it. Let me drop this luggage off because that's where we're going. We get on Celebrity, while your rooms will not be ready when you get on board, you are able to drop off your luggage, which is great. That's Adam, the husband. Poor Adam. He put up with all of us, and we appreciate him very, very much. And so you can see the little gingerbread house. You can see some Christmas tree. They are beautiful glass elevators. Glass elevators are not my favorite because I'm afraid of heights. And I kept getting pushed to the back by you.
And I feel like this is not
look how
an
beautiful.
Old I mean, look at this. Does this look like an old ship to you?
And to me, I just thought it was just so fancy. We didn't have enough time to go. That's the library we're looking at, and the place with all the cool chairs had a name too. I don't know. It was like the hideout.
The hideaway or something like that. So.
Yeah. And so as you can tell, we're all
just like
Jeremy's like, I have everyone's suitcases. Jeremy's our friend in the orange. You see him come on lives as well. Yeah, exactly. I'm just like luggage. Oops. When you tilt onto 2 wheels, it gets serious. Yes, it does. You know, and you can see by the look on my face, I'm like, I'm just about done with this.
And the thing is, like, I like carrying it like that with the 2 wheels, actually.
Well, the thing is I have problems with my wrist, so now I have 150 pounds hanging off my wrist. So I can push like this really easily. And we do fine till it's carpet time.
And then the carpet, I'm like getting winded at
and
this
so
point.
If you're going, why don't Adam and Elizabeth have luggage? Because they're smart. And they drop theirs off and it will magically be delivered to their room. But without my bottom suitcase, I'd have to do my like 100-pound backpack on my back. So see, she's like pointing out things.
And then she's like, you need to go over there. And we're like, where?
But yeah, it was really easy to get around. And what's interesting, so you saw how beautiful the other stuff is. This is where it's not beautiful. Is like the little things for the rooms.
Yeah.
Like the little hallways. They're a little claustrophobic, but you're there seconds. Really, just seconds. And
and this is the magic moment that we realize now is like a big deal, is when we get the keys
and this is our room tour of 1537 on the Celebrity Silhouette. It's an aqua class room, which just means it's close to the spa.
Yeah. And it's cute, right? It's just not like an official room tour.
No, there's a couch there. The bed was quite comfortable.
Yeah.
I will say that for sure. And Cheryl had some surprises. One were those plush robes. She bought us those plush robes to bring home, and some celebrity mugs for everybody who was traveling, which is really sweet. We had a balcony because the Aqua class are balcony rooms. Mm-hmm. Oh, Susan says, I'm so excited. Me too, right? I'm like, oh, I've never been on a ship before, and I'm seeing these other ships. I've never even seen a ship that up close.
Yeah.
And I learned how to open the door, which was exciting.
That was kind of a challenge, too.
And I was like, oh my, you can see, I'm so transparent. I'm like, that's a little funky.
So this begins our tour where Elizabeth is showing us how to get around.
And I want you to look in this area. Look how beautiful the ceilings and the walls are. There were a lot of beautiful art pieces and murals. Like, there's a rock.
Real rock.
So it was kind of delightful just to walk around. Some of it definitely looked plush, and in plush may also look a little bit older, slightly less modern, though I think it is beautiful, maybe more traditional.
Now that's a goal right there.
The retreat. That's where the fancy people in the suites get to eat. We got to eat in a different restaurant too, so I can't say that. With Aqua Class, you get to eat at Blue, the spa restaurant, but everybody gets to eat in the main dining room, and you have most of the same things available. In fact, what we ate, that menu is available in the dining room. Yeah. And we are going to get there too.
Yeah, we do have pictures of the menu.
Okay, great. And so she's showing us where some of the restaurants are. And some of these cost extra. Yeah, it's like a hotel. It really is. I just thought some of this was so stunning. There's another rock. Let's put rocks on the cruise ship, y'all. And what's really interesting is getting used to if the doors open in or out. They open the wrong way. So I'm like constantly not doing that correctly. So some of the restaurants cost extra, like this cuisine, but it's, we didn't go and eat in any of those restaurants. We were there too little, and we already had a specialty restaurant. So Elizabeth's saying there's cameras in the ceiling, and what it does is it actually plays a show. So if you look at Le Petit Chef somewhere, this is what that is. And so literally it puts everything down onto the plates, and it does a whole show, which is super cool. And I will say one of the things that I've heard is on different ships, different, especially like different areas, like if we were on the ship in Europe versus on the ship in the Caribbean where we are, you may have some different options. So this Le Petit Chef, I said, can we get vegan? You can order off the main dining room menu. Whereas there are other ships that might let you have something special made by the chef. So I also don't want to spend $90 to have something I could have for free.
But that kind of gives you an idea of what it actually looks like when they...
But it seems really cool, and I would like to do it sometime for sure.
And there they're doing mustard drill. So right there in the corner, and you can see them.
What's a mustard drill?
Oh, so when you go onto the ship, you have to do a mustard drill because it's a safety presentation, basically. And so you have to watch a safety presentation, and then once you watch the safety presentation, then you have to go to the location where you would go to in an emergency.
This is Blue. So this is the special restaurant. I'm sorry.
No.
It's going to be gone in a minute, so I feel like I got to jump in there. And so this is where we ate dinner every night, and actually we ate breakfast most mornings.
Yep.
You can only do it if you're in Aqua Class or in the super fancy one. But
that's our table right there next to the pole.
Yeah, we had that one and the one near the window. The service was fantastic. The portions were quite small. And that's not for good or for bad, but like I came in and ordered a soup and salad. The first, well...
And that's the...
That's the Tuscan.
Yeah.
We'll get back to that, so we'll finish up this tour. But
the mustard, so that's what they're doing there, is showing them how to put their life jackets on and all that kind of stuff. And then that's the location that if there's an emergency, that is the location that you go to during an emergency. And then they will take you out these side
to the
doors.
lifeboat. So you can see the orange lifeboats now. And so then we walked outside.
We learned that there's a little superhighway right here to miss all the people in that corridor. These are what the lifeboats look like.
Yeah, that's what I
think also, don't they use those, some boats use those for tenders as well?
I don't know. So we'll hold talking about
Yeah.
that. But like, I was surprised. I wasn't thinking that a lifeboat would be double deckered and enclosed.
I don't think it's really double.
Oh, maybe it's just enclosed.
It's enclosed.
They had some double decker tenders I've seen
Yeah.
on some videos. I don't know if they do here. But it's kind of crazy how massive this ship is. And this is supposedly one of the smaller ships. But you just really feel dwarfed by everything. It's great for walking. You've got lots of stairs you can do. You've got lots of back and forth.
Yeah. We love the amount of walking that you can do on these. It's almost as good to us as a Disney walk.
Right. This one, I feel like we didn't walk quite as much just because we didn't have a lot of time.
We didn't have a lot of time, and it's a smaller ship compared to some of the bigger ships, too.
Yeah. And I was really happy with how much hand sanitizer. That's another fancy dining room that we had no access.
Oh, no, this is the actual dining room.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
Yep, this is the
The
actual
gold
dining
makes
room.
me think it's fancy.
No, this
we
is-
did not eat in this dining room, but again, the menu we're going to show you later is from.
Yeah,
But
and this is the main dining room that everyone that doesn't have an aqua package or a retreat package or dining at a paid restaurant would go to. This is the main dining room.
Right, and it was 2 levels. We're upstairs, and there's a downstairs as well. And Tanya was saying you don't feel trapped, and I mean, I can be claustrophobic,
Me too.
and I was not claustrophobic at all.
I did not feel claustrophobic in the
There's a lot of windows. You're looking out a lot, and I sat on our balcony a lot too. But I can't guarantee you wouldn't. But I was surprised that I didn't feel squidgy about it at all. Yeah, and here's the thing too. I think we go to the buffet next. Or pretty soon. We'll find out. I didn't edit this video. I have no idea. But there's like shops and art and stuff. And my personal take would be skip the art auction.
Yes.
It's not worth the free glass of cheap champagne.
At night, I think I said, that's an hour and a half of my life that I can never get back.
Right? Yeah, and Susan says, I like the windows and the fresh air. Yeah, it felt really open. I didn't really feel trapped in anything. And so they label very clearly where things are by the elevator, so you can have an idea. This was, I'm trying to remember, was it Sky Lounge?
This is the Sky Lounge, and this was right before the ship started going.
And I loved this. So like,
So we just hung out there,
and that's where I had my little ginger ale when I started feeling a little bit squidgy, and then I wasn't
and then
anymore.
you can see that we're actually moving. If you kind of look between the chairs, I kind of tried to do a little bit of a.
Well, you can see it kind of bounce around a little bit, and you can feel that a little bit.
Yeah.
Which was interesting.
Also helps when I adjust the camera.
It's okay. Welcome to our travel slideshow. This one is not trying to be super professional.
No.
We're just trying to show you what's going on. How long did you have?
No, not very long. It should go to the other in a minute. I thought I cut all that out.
Feels like a little long, but
I thought I cut that out.
that's okay.
There it goes.
Yay!
Now we're out into the ocean.
Woo! But there's like little rocking chairs and swivelly chairs, and that's also a cocktail bar. You had the exciting soda, and I had an exciting ginger beer.
Yeah. Yeah.
those were not included. So on Celebrity, you get from the buffet and stuff. Oh, you must have just left the buffet. Did you leave the buffet out?
I must have, or it didn't translate well.
Okay, I'm gonna see if we can come back here. Last time it left there. So one of the things I want to finish talking about too is that the portions at, I don't know if the main dining room is the same, but I'm pretty sure we're very small. So I came in, the first night you come in, they don't know you're vegan. Even though you say you're vegan on stuff, they don't know. And so usually what you do is you pick from a vegan menu the night before. So you order for the next day the night before. Yeah. So the first day is going to be a little bit potluck. Mm-hmm. Though I thought they did really, really well.
Yeah, no,
they did
great.
really, really well. So I was like, not into this spa mentality at that point, or smaller portions. So I ordered a beet salad with vegan feta, and they made us asparagus soup. They made vegan asparagus soup for us. It was on the menu. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, soup and salad. What a great way to start. So I had a little bowl of soup, and my salad was literally this big with like 4 pieces of beets and some arugula. And I was like, yeah, hit me again with the salad.
But the thing is, you can ask for more, and they don't even bat an eyelash at it. They just bring you some more, and it's kind of nice.
Right. It just,
I have pictures of that first night, a few of the things from the first night in my slideshow after this.
Okay, we can we can do that too. So just don't be disappointed. Like, the only thing that was on the regular blue menu that was vegan was an Impossible Burger. Yeah. But don't just go, okay, I really don't want to eat that oil, or I really don't eat Impossible meat, but I guess I have to.
And they also didn't have vegan buns for the Impossible Burger.
Right.
So
you just got it by itself and ate it like a little hamburger steak.
I got it like a little hamburger steak, and then I was able to eat the sourdough bread.
Well, and even looking at that night's menu, there were things that were obvious. And he actually gave us a list of things that we could choose from. I asked about the beans. They had a vegan chili. Or no, they had a vegetarian chili. And I said, can you leave off whatever the dairy element was? And they weren't sure. So it was actually the maitre d' who came and talked to us about what we could and couldn't eat. Mm-hmm. And then by the time Elizabeth and her husband ate after us, and she got it. So they told me it was already mixed in, but it wasn't.
It wasn't. They just drizzled it on the top.
So I was a little sad seeing her yummy beans and rice after I'd had little mini salads.
Yeah.
But also it was good because then we went down to the buffet. The buffet, which sounds scary. So let me tell you the Kathy Hester thing that you must do when you're on a cruise. Is you've got to wash your hands.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands a lot. So like Cheryl, I finally have won Cheryl over to washing of the hands because norovirus can't be killed with hand sanitizer, not normal hand sanitizer. I think there's a special one, but nobody has that. So if I'm going to do the buffet that a whole bunch of people have touched, I'm going to make my plate, sit it down, go wash my hands till my watch tells me I did a good job. Yep. Wash it 20 to 30 seconds. Just get it good, okay? Because that is how you are not going to, you're really probably cutting your risk of being sick in half.
Significantly, yes.
So when we went into the buffet, so I got to give you that, because they do squirt hand sanitizer in everybody's hands, which is great. Mm-hmm. But I don't trust these people. And people walk out of the bathroom without washing their hands. So you know they don't ever wash their hands. Yeah. So just remember that if you need some little hint. It's like, ooh, what am I putting in my mouth? I don't know. What did that person touch?
Yeah. Don't be nasty, people. Yeah, wash your hands.
Be nice. We went through a pandemic. Let's stop this. So, but that's, norovirus is if something's on your hand, it gets in your mouth, or if you've eaten something that someone who has it has touched. Right. So the buffet is a riskier place. Mm-hmm. So, hey Roxy, it's good to see you here. So when we went down to the buffet, I was shocked.
Up to the buffet, I think.
I don't know. We magically appeared at the buffet somehow.
Just there. Hello.
And there's all these different kind of double-sided places. So one is vegan.
It's kind of like a Golden Corral setup on steroids. Right? There's all these little separate little, like with the double hood things, and there's stuff on both sides. It's not the same stuff on both sides. There's different stuff on each side. And they had one. That one whole side was vegan.
And there were probably about 6 or 7 different options on that all the time.
Yep.
I think breakfast was not the case, but lunch and dinner. And they had some Indian food. They always had a grain. You could go, so in between there was this place in the middle, and there were these giant, beautiful roasted vegetables, like butternut squash, whole eggplants. And you just take that thing and squish off the bottom of that butternut squash and eat it. There's a pasta station. There were so many different stations. There were meaty stations that obviously I don't know anything about.
Yeah. And it did seem that there was a couple different theme nights. There was a Mexican theme night. I can't remember what the other one was.
I don't know. But like there are also baked potatoes, steamed vegetables, a whole giant salad thing, and they do have balsamic vinegar there that you could just pour on your own balsamic.
And they have everything labeled.
Yes.
Like each thing has a label, and it'll tell you if it's gluten-free, dairy-free. It had everything on there.
It didn't have everything. So here's my tip. So it had all the lists of things like gluten-free, vegetarian, dairy-free, and then they put little things on top of it. So if you just look at first, you think they're all the things. They do not have an egg one. So it could be vegetarian and it could contain egg because they're just not, at least in Celebrity Silhouette in the end of 2024, this is how it was. So that's one thing, but there are people you can ask. You can go and ask people.
Yeah.
So, and you can look, like sometimes, I don't know, if it's steamed broccoli and it says vegetarian and it says no dairy, I would be fine with that. If it's something that could have eggs in it, like congee, rice congee, or that if it doesn't say vegetarian, it probably has some sort of animal broth in it. But you can always ask, and if you just don't want to, you can always just make yourself a baked potato, steamed vegetables, salad. But you're not limited to that, and that's what I want to tell you as a point of importance. So even with soups, at least in the main dining rooms, when you're doing the sit-down dining, they were able to do a lot of vegan soups. So we had corn soup, we had, I don't know, we had like 4 different kinds of soup while we were there.
I got pictures of most of those, I think.
Okay. And so there were a lot of options. And when we get to the menu that we got to pick off of from the first night, there were like 14 entrees. Vegan menu, 14 vegan entrees. So it's not slacker, but like, because I was like, why would anyone go to the buffet? And then I didn't eat enough.
And then we went to the buffet.
Then we went to the buffet, and I was really glad it was there. And I got some rice, and I got some okra curry.
And it was a running joke with Jeremy and I. We'd get done eating, and he'd look at me and go, "Second dinner," and then we would go up to the buffet, and we would have a little something else.
And that can be both the good and the bad part. For me, a couple of times, like I got the Thai green curry, and I was so excited about that at Blue. And there was no rice or potatoes or anything. So it was just steamed vegetables and a very light sauce. And I was like, okay, I need to eat again. So that was my second dinner. The third dinner we had there, I got pad thai. So there were rice noodles, and we had planned to try some pizza, and I was full. So just kind of think about what it needs to be. You know, maybe next time I might share that with you if I know we're going to do something. But they made vegan pizza for us with vegan feta on it. There was always a vegan ice cream flavor. And again...
And the flavors changed each day?
It may not fit in with what your diet plan is, but if you're trying to eat like beans, grains, vegetables, that's covered.
totally
You can
doable.
totally do that. Now just like any other place, those potatoes may have been rubbed in a little bit of oil. There could be a little bit of oil on something. So if you are strict whole food, plant-based, no oil for health reasons, I would contact them ahead of time, and they should be able to at least get you some plain steamed rice and steamed vegetables, if nothing else. And then also at that point, I would either bring one of my dry mixes to make a sauce, or just bring some sauce if you can.
Yeah.
But you should be able to get like a side of soy sauce, a side of plain balsamic vinegar, things like that there for sure. Oh, this is awesome. So Angela from Boomer and Beyond Wellness says, even 2 decades ago, I had no problem eating healthy vegan on a cruise, and it was Carnival.
Nice.
And that's what it's all kind of about. Is like, you're going to have to talk to people. So if you don't want to talk to people, this is going to make it really hard, and you're just going to take what you take, and you're not going to be like,
And you're not going to be happy because you're just going to be eating salad and fruit every day. And maybe some rice and a curry or something
curries
off the
were
buffet.
fabulous, though. They were fabulous.
Yeah. But, if you talk to somebody, that could change everything.
It can. And if you so like when you get on the ship, you can actually go to like the main dining room, talk to them, say, hey, I'm vegan. Hey, I have a health issue, so I can't have some of these things. Can you help me navigate that? And that's going to get a lot more mileage than if you go, I'm vegan and I'm paying what everybody else is paying, so what are you going to feed me?
Right.
Right? So make sure that you're coming at it. Remember, they're serving thousands of people every day.
Yeah.
And this is my personal motto and the way I always make friends with people. I make friends. I try to be really patient because I know I'm asking for something out of the ordinary. And, just let it be. What's going on?
I'll be right back.
Okay. So that's one thing I would say. And I think that for me, that's kind of my philosophy going forward on most things. I think that the nicer you are, the more people want to help you, and then everybody's happy. Can you get a plain baked potato? I just grabbed them off the buffet. They may have had some oil on them. So I did a don't ask, don't tell. I can taste if something has butter. It didn't have butter. But you could ask, and they might be able to make them. They probably couldn't make it for you that night for dinner, but they can make it for you going forward. Are you okay?
Yeah, we just had a delivery.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. All right, that just made me nervous.
It's your milk maker.
I know. I got the Nama M, people, so we're going to get ready for milk making videos. But you can get a plain. So what I did, actually what I had for lunch the first day is I got the baked potato, I opened it up, I put steamed vegetables on it, and I'm trying to remember, I think I just put balsamic on it.
They had a station that had baked potatoes and then just like vegetables like green beans and corn and just like a whole thing that was even not near the vegan stuff. It was over on the other side.
Right. So, I mean, it was pretty easy. And what I would do if I was whole food, plant-based, no oil strict is I probably would either just eat out of the skin because it's not really going through that much, but do whatever your doctor tells you. I am not a doctor or a health professional.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And be kind, because here's the thing. You're setting the tone for the vegans and plant-based people that come after you. So I deal with a lot of like runoff from people being rude. So just be nice, and they really want you to be happy. That's all they want. So just let you be happy.
They want to give you good service. Like the service we got there was unbelievable. Actually, I was really impressed.
I think so too. Okay, I'm going to try. Should we do the slideshow? Is that what we should do?
Let's do the slideshow because the rest is just us roaming around ports.
Okay, yeah, I don't think that's good for now. All right, so I'm going to come back to where we're playing this, and then, let's see. I did that here, and I'm going to try and just move this over.
Oh, it started it all
That's
over
okay.
again.
Here we go. Is it going to play? All right, we're going to try this. We're going to try this. I don't think the keynote, I don't know how to make it.
Oh.
Maybe this will just be us talking. This is why we test things before we do
Well,
things.
you could double click on it and then.
Share the screen, but then it has to be really big and we can't see comments.
Oh, that's true. Now
And-
you got to click through it. Here, just give it to
Well,
me.
can we make it where it's not so big so that I can show people?
Yeah,
Okay.
we can just do it like this,
Okay.
and
Well,
then make this smaller,
okay.
and then it has to go back up to the first.
I understand. I just have to get it where it can even be anything. Like this is not
This
super
is not
helpful.
ideal. Yeah,
It's
is.
and you didn't download the pictures on here, right? Okay. I think we should just talk about the trip and then we'll do another one with food because this
Okay.
isn't going to be helpful to anyone.
Okay.
So,
Sorry, I did a slideshow.
It's okay.
And we can't get it to open properly, so.
so in general, we'll just kind of do an overview of kind of what we ate, where we ate it, and like I would definitely say you can eat vegan, plant-based on Celebrity Silhouette, hands down, no
Yeah.
questions at
Yeah.
all.
Yep.
I think one of my favorite things I had, there were a lot of really good things, but I think the one that stands out most to me is the okra curry in the buffet. You could tell that they cook Indian food on the ship. So, and that's another thing that I've heard. If you have trouble getting something to eat, you can ask them to get you crew food because there are people from all over the world. So they are making Indian food and things like that for real Indian people, which is kind of nice. What was your favorite thing?
I really, really liked my breakfast that I had that one morning where it was kind of like a British breakfast where I had the baked beans and then the tofu and was it green beans or asparagus?
Green beans.
Green beans. Like it was just, it was something different and I really liked it. Now the tofu, they didn't do anything to it.
It was
Nothing.
heated up.
It was just heated up,
Lightly
plain
warm.
tofu.
But they had things like I had
But there was
muesli.
tomato and stuff on there. You could mix it all together, and it was pretty good. It was good.
The mixing it together I was with you till then. But it was like a British breakfast with like roasted tomato and mushrooms, baked beans,
Green beans.
and I
And tofu.
think the green beans they
Oh,
just
there
threw
was
in.
some kale or spinach in there too.
Yeah. And so that was pretty good. I got muesli, which they were able to make because I didn't think they would be able to. And they also were able to make us vegan smoothies, even though they used.
Yeah, mango smoothies. They were delicious.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what else. There was a dessert option. I eat mostly gluten-free. Like on vacations, I'll eat a couple of things and just live with the consequences. Like there will be a little vegan pizza happening on Virgin Voyages. I've heard it's really good, so I have to try it. I don't
The
remember.
dessert was like whipped cream,
Well, yeah.
like a vegan whipped cream with some berries on it. And then they made the next night they made a chocolate.
Well, they had the chocolate torte, so it was a little thing, and I don't love chocolate. It's always, the only vegan gluten-free dessert is always chocolate. I'm like, please stop. But I knew I had some ice cream if I wanted to get a scoop of ice cream downstairs. But like, then the next night, it was like a hunk, and it's like solid chocolate ganache.
Yeah.
So, and it was Chef Surprise, and Chef Surprise was kind of like vegan, like it was probably coconut. Well, it did taste coconut. I think it was just some kind of vegan whipped cream with berries. And then I realized after we were disembarkation day, I I could have just asked for berries because that's all I wanted was berries. So you could ask for berries or fruit for dessert. If you are doing an SOS or something like that, you certainly can do that. The same way as if you want to get a salad and you don't want a heavy salad dressing, you can ask for balsamic on the side.
Oh, that first night we had that really good asparagus soup.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit.
My mind's going through all the different things that
Yeah.
we had.
And there was like peanut butter tofu.
Oh,
and
that was
actually,
really good,
you know
too.
what? Let me see if I could just get the menu up for me to talk about it. Let's see if I can.
I hate that it's opening that way.
That's okay.
This is,
Well, you know what? Let me. I can't even get to. Yeah.
you gotta click through it. Oh, there you go.
Okay. That takes it away from full screen. All right. The whole reason I'm not doing this is like literally it takes over the whole screen, so I can't even see any comments or click on it to make it show for you. So I'm going to come to this menu and can I download it? I don't think so. All right. It's too small for me to read. Zoom. Zoom, zoom. Anybody else remember that Zoom?
The Zoom show, yeah.
Okay. Seriously.
You can just one on top of the other. It'll probably work.
Okay. Let's try this. All right. So there were like appetizers. I'm just going to list some of this off. Like roasted cauliflower and broccoli with toasted almonds. Summer rolls, it was one roll, one tiny roll cut in half.
Yeah.
So realize this sounds like a lot of food, but it's,
they're very small portions.
and what we ended up doing after the first night was getting an appetizer, a salad, a soup, and an entree, which sounds crazy, but
And we just all tasted off of everybody.
yeah, but like the appetizer was this big. The salads were this big. Right, they were very small portions. So the salads, they had a kale and quinoa tabbouleh that I thought was just stellar. It was so good. It wasn't the prettiest salad. The spinach avocado salad. I had the roasted beets with tofu and it was like teardrop tomatoes and arugula. It was really
nice.
beautiful. Like things were painted on the plate. It was a beautiful presentation. One of your favorites.
That was my favorite.
You want to talk about it?
The
and read it?
Waldorf chickpea salad. It was so good. So it had chickpea, chicory, grapes, celery, toasted walnuts, and like this curry vinaigrette. It was amazing. I had that 2 days in a row. 'Cause
Yeah.
I liked that one so much.
It was good. I got it, I think, the third night, and it was different than the one you had gotten the night
and
before.
was another thing. There was also, I got pad thai when you guys got something else. And then when you guys got the pad thai, it was different than when I got the pad
Well,
thai.
what happened is Helene had asked for fried tofu. It didn't come fried unless we asked. That's why yours wasn't fried.
I didn't have tofu at all. There was no tofu at all in mine.
We asked for tofu. Okay, so the entrees are things like char-grilled veg and tofu and peanut butter sauce. There's like grilled bell pepper, zucchini, black bean and pepper enchiladas / tacos, which came out as tacos for Jeremy.
Yeah.
So we were like, we were living the life. We're like,
Yeah.
is it enchiladas? Is it tacos? Do we win a prize if we guess? And then cumin spice lentils and spinach over basmati rice. Grilled tofu steak with a polenta cake and mango salsa, which we did not try. And I think Elizabeth told us she didn't care for it. Now I'm going to see if I can make the other menu appear, can I? Okay, so there's more entrees still. There's like a Thai mango curry, which it was the green curry. I felt like it was just vegetables in a very light sauce. It wasn't even like a coconut green Thai curry sauce like I've had in the past.
Yeah.
So I kind of had my little bowl of soup, my little salad, and then I had my little pile of vegetables in a sauce with no potatoes or pasta or rice.
Yeah.
And
That was kind of weird to us that they didn't serve rice with some of the things that you would typically think would have rice with it.
Exactly. And so there was a veg pad thai, which I thought was great. toasted Israeli couscous cake with asparagus spears, cherry tomatoes, zucchini ribbons, and a stuffed portobello mushroom with spinach, roasted red pepper coulis, pesto, things like that. And all of these are vegan. So this is from, you open it up and I'm reading it to you. So this just got, I think it got added to the celebrity across the board after our friends went on their celebrity cruise because they couldn't eat vegan at all.
They went in November.
Well, not this November. It was years ago, right before.
It was November 23, I think.
It was before this got added. So all celebrity cruises should have this now. And if you're going on a different line, look up that line and vegan. And chances are, like Princess and vegan. Princess just added a vegan menu not that many years ago. And you can kind of get an idea. You may not be able to get all things on all ships all the time. But lest you think, oh, I can only have lettuce and balsamic vinegar. They could grill you up a piece of tofu. They could, grab some beans or something like that. So the other things, the soups, we had yellow corn soup, chickpea tomato soup with spinach, vegetable minestrone, and squash soup.
You guys really love the squash soup. I wasn't that fond of the squash soup.
It was like a butternut squash apple with a little bit of anise and cloves.
But that corn soup,
it was so good.
Corn soup was so good.
Soups are like the best. And they're so simple. And so I think literally these are pretty much purees that they just did that were pretty plain and simple.
Yeah. Very, very tasty. Very tasty.
And breakfast, they were able to make us some pancakes if we wanted to.
Yeah, we had blueberry pancakes. We had the mango smoothies. We had the breakfast that had the baked beans and stuff that we were talking about. There was fruit. You guys had something that was almost like oatmeal or something.
Muesli.
Muesli, okay.
Mm-hmm. And also there's like different little places. So there's the Spa Cafe, which is open to everyone, that I was able to get some apple cider oatmeal. Mm-hmm. They had avocado toast. Mm-hmm. They had a bunch of different things. So most things are free. There are places that are for upcharge. So you kind of have to figure that out.
Yeah.
But there was no place that didn't have anything vegan.
Yeah, we went on this. We didn't have any kind of dining package. We didn't have any kind of drink package. All we had was whatever came with our aqua class. I think we did get drinks. Didn't we get some juices or something?
Yeah,
for
we
that?
got juices in blue. So we got some special stuff there. But that menu, when we go next, we can get in the main dining room. Mm-hmm. So it's not because what was nice about being in blue is that it was so beautiful. You guys got to see that. And it was just a treat to sit there and like look out at the ocean. Mm-hmm. And that since it was our first cruise, it was nice to not be in such a giant, large main dining room. So it was probably a quarter or maybe even 20% of the people of the seating for the main dining room. And so that just let me feel a little bit more comfortable and get used to it. So with Virgin Voyages, it's a whole different kind of setup, and they have restaurants, and all the restaurants are free. And then they have kind of like a food court, and like there's like grab and go sushi, so you can get vegan sushi.
Yeah.
They have vegan burgers, vegan pizza. They have vegan stir fries. So there's a whole bunch of stuff in addition to, like, there's a Mexican restaurant, a Korean restaurant, the Wake.
An Italian restaurant.
Yeah, Italian restaurant. And so we'll be showing you some of that, and we're
going to have it all set
be
up
better
for you
by
the
then.
next time. We know what we need to do now. We know that we need to talk to each other while we're walking around instead of just going,
Well,
we were just soaking it all in, and we were so excited, and we were so pleasantly surprised that we just kind of I fell down on the job a little bit because I was so busy just experiencing, right?
Yeah.
So this next one, it's time to get down to work.
Well, also we've got some things in place so we can still wander around and get that footage. So that's kind of the thing. And we were also with kind of like two other couples. Yeah. And so we're going to be with another couple next week, but they already know what they're up against. And Elizabeth, had you not known you were going to be shown to the whole world, well, there you go. No.
Elizabeth has promised to do an interview with us.
Oh, good, because she's so good. And also, I want to tell everybody, in case you don't remember, she's lost 60 pounds on the McDougall program, and she's been cruising
the whole entire
the
time.
whole time.
Yep.
And one of the things that can be a downfall in cruising is that food is available all the time. But so is walking and swimming and doing all these other things. So it just depends on, what your weaknesses are, what may or may not happen. Like to me, I was nervous going to the buffet when we first went because I was hungry. We had been through all these new things. I didn't know what was going on, and I was
weren't sure what we were going to have.
I was nervous, and Jeremy gets seasick, so he was nervous about that. He was nervous he wasn't going to be able to eat, and I just needed that to resolve itself so I could relax. And he was like, if I have this, then I'm good. And we're like, it's only going to be better than this.
Yeah.
And just kind of going and being able to sit down and have a potato with steamed vegetables and like a giant piece of butternut squash.
Well, and I think we weren't sure if when we were presented with vegan options that they were going to try to throw a bunch of like the impossible meat or the Beyond Meat or something like that at us, or that everything was going to be made with stuff like that. And it wasn't. There was none of that except for that one burger.
Well, there was a burger, and there was Impossible chicken nuggets on the buffet
that's right.
one time.
There were Impossible. I forgot about those chicken nuggets.
And I was like, they were not tempting for me. Oh, yeah, and Angela says we had great workouts in the ship's gym, plus I did yoga on board. That's great. No seasick issues, even when upside down. That's awesome. And for us, we tend to walk more than anything, but there's treadmills and bikes and weight machines and free weight. There's everything. And there's exercise classes. Some ships you have to pay for, some you don't. On Virgin, we don't, and we're going to try, but you have to sign up. So we got to figure this out. So if we get it signed up, there's things like an 80s workout with one of those shake weights that's supposed to be really silly.
Yeah.
They also have this kind of bungee class.
Yeah.
But it's only like a 5 or 6 person class, so it's hard to get into. So we'll see what we can do to try some of those. But they have a full gym. You don't have to get into those classes, but if you're like us and don't always want, sometimes I just feel uncomfortable in the gym. I'll do the treadmill or I'll do a bike or something, but I'm not going to do the weight things because I don't know what to do exactly. It's my own paranoia. You should do it. It just makes me a little weird. But, you can do all kinds of things, and there's always a track you can do. Yeah, right. The 80s workout should have great music, and some of them are dressing up. So Virgin Voyages is kind of a come as you are. So there are no rules. I think they may say you have to wear shoes and you can't wear bathing suits somewhere. But I think that's it. Whereas some of them, you were trying to decide what you could wear in the main dining room.
Well, yeah, because I was concerned about, I knew I wasn't supposed to wear a hat.
But there were rules. They weren't crazy rules, but there were rules. Whereas in Virgin, probably if you wanted to be in your bathrobe all day, you probably could. And so it's going to be a different vibe. It's more of an IKEA, sleek, modern, Scandinavian kind of look to it in the room. So it's going to be I'm assuming it's going to be a little less plush, and we can see about that. Oh, yay! Apple's watching on the other channel.
Oh, and then don't forget the best part of Silhouette. We have to give a shout out to the ladies.
Oh, yeah. We did get a lot of massages.
We had Christmas money.
We had Christmas money, and my back was out. So we got massages, and also part of being in the aqua class on Celebrity is that depending on the class of ship, you get to use either the Persian Garden or the thermal spa. So this had a Persian Garden. So the little tile loungers are warm, so I get a massage and I lay on that for a while, and it really, I got from where I was limping to, and that's also why I was pushing that thing so hard. I was like, I cannot put that thing on my back. Because I would sit down and have dinner, and I would it was bad. I'd hitch, and I'd have to walk it out.
It was bad. It was bad.
But by the end, it was better.
Yeah.
And then there was like a steam room. There was an aromatherapy room, which was kind of like a steam room light. Like it was still kind of humid and nice smells and stuff like that. I missed that, but all I see is that typo. Click the button, not lick. It's your choice.
You can lick the button if you want.
It's your button. You do what you want to do. No, we've had a day of errors, Apple. So this is not exactly. We thought we were having more pictures to show this time, but we'll get that all together another time. But just being around in the spa, it was really nice because we would eat and walk around and then just go lay on those warm loungers and just kind of.
So it kind of ruined us for other things. So now, like whenever we're looking at something, we're always like, what does their Persian spa thing look like?
Well, see, that was the other thing. That's what got me going. Oh, it's an older ship. I saw what a thermal spa is. Y'all. And we are going to be going on a ship with Elizabeth, not next month, but the month after or something, some month. And we are going to be on one of those fancy thermal spas. So,
and there's one on the holistic holiday. They have one that has a snow room.
So those do cost extra, and some you can go once or you can buy a pass to go all along. And like for me, I get a lot out of it. But we'll see after we try a lot of these. One of the things we used to do is go to a fancy hotel in Asheville and go to their spa. We'd buy the cheapest thing, which was like $100 pedicure.
And then stay in there all day.
All day. I'd be there 12 hours, living my $100 life.
Yeah. And it also seems like that it's a very good bargain to get it, like when you figure out the per day, if you get it for the whole time you're there versus buying it per day, because unlike the spa in Asheville, if you get a service on a ship, the thermal spa doesn't just come with it.
What?
So like
the thermal spa doesn't come with what?
With like if you get a pedicure, you can't.
Okay.
Into the.
So yeah, unlike a resort spa, it's not included when you buy a service. I was not getting. You were talking. I was hearing everything backwards. So that's what we're finding so far. And we'll see. So like for the Virgin Cruise coming up, we got the Splash of Romance. And why we got that is because we get
priority boarding.
And so we'll get on. We get on past like this people who are in the suites. We also get a 3-hour pass to the thermal spa. And we get a few other things. We get like cold pressed juices in the morning, and I think we shake for champagne, and we can. So, and we're going with some friends, so that's great. And Apple says, so many cruises that you've lost track, you have no idea. You literally have no idea. That is why I'm behind on everything, is because I've been trying to plan the next 6 months of travel for the Travel Channel. And I got to catch up when I come back, because I'm going to get that Potions and Powders book out for next month is the plan. So I got all the recipes, so it's not like I don't have all the recipes, but I don't have all the photos.
Yeah.
So, but we'll get it all done.
Oh yeah, you'll not, because once you start like on the pictures, you just like a machine. So
yeah.
That's easy.
Hyper focus for the win. So let's see what else we have. Danny says no snow room for me. I've had enough snow. Well, it's more of like you go to the hot stuff and there's like different showers. I'm very curious about that one. But hopefully we'll be able to can get some good footage of all these things, and we'll have things a little bit more prepared. If we can, while we're on the cruise, I believe are we getting the upgraded Wi-Fi? Do we know yet?
We have to wait till we get on
On
board.
board. So if we can afford the upgraded Wi-Fi, we'll try and go live from there. And we're probably only, when we do lives, especially from there, we're probably going to go straight into the Plant-Based Explorers YouTube instead of asking it to do so many things.
So make sure you subscribe over there so that you know when that happens.
Yeah.
And also, you know, I'm pretty sure we could probably go live before we head out,
Yeah, before we set sail.
because we could always use our phones for that.
We're probably going to go to the sail away party so we can see. Like, so some of this is going to be a little like, woo, let's see what happens. Oh, Lisa says, spent 15 minutes shoveling the driveway. We had the first snow we've had in like 5 years.
Yeah.
And it's still sort of melting. Maybe it'll be gone
Yeah.
today.
I noticed there was some still in the front out there in the shady area.
It's crazy. And this is nothing compared to you people who live with real snow. What's going to be interesting to me too is like, I kind of like winter, and now we're going away from winter. I got to figure out how we get to go away from summer. And we are doing one trip to the UK, and it's possible we might try to do Alaska, but we'll see how that goes. Does anybody have any questions about what we've done? I mean, I think the other thing, as far as eating vegan, don't depend on emailing someone before your cruise that you're going to have food for the first night. Know that you can make something together out of the buffet, and that they will do their best to accommodate you in the main dining room. If you can go there as soon as you get on the ship and talk to someone,
Yeah.
that's the best thing that you
If
can
you
do.
can get the maitre d' or the head chef at the dining room, that would probably be a really good thing to do. We're going to do that.
Yeah, and what was I going to say? I just forgot now. Oh, allergies. So same thing. So let's say you're plant-based and you have allergies. You're going to let your waiter, you're going to let the maitre d' go ahead and go in with, I'm vegan, I need something to eat tonight, I'm plant-based, I need to have balsamic on the table, I'm allergic to wheat, I'm allergic to eggs. You know, you can do that. I'm allergic to eggs and dairy, but sometimes I think just coming in and saying I'm vegan, they know what vegan means now. They don't always know what plant-based means. So what you can say is a lot like kind of what they say in the Starch Solution program. My doctor says that I can't have any dairy, eggs, or oil. And you should be at least able to get steamed rice and steamed vegetables if you want to try and be strict whole food plant-based and get salad and have balsamic vinegar. There should be some bean salad and things like that. And you can get tofu. I'm trying to think of anything else. Can you think of anything else?
No, but I did want to mention that when we were in Key West, we did go to this cute little cafe called The Cafe, and it was very delightful, and they have a very large portion of their menu that has vegan items.
And it really is called The Cafe.
The Cafe.
And we'll be going back there next week. So if we can get some internet, we may go live from there. If not, we'll film it and we'll share all of it when we get back too.
Yeah.
Maybe both. All right, I think we're going to wrap things up since we don't get to show you all the pictures, but hopefully we painted a picture for you and you got to see some of the boat. I mean, the room was so comfortable. It was cool having a balcony. We are going to be doing some other trips, not this one coming up, but some of them we're going to be staying on inside rooms, ocean rooms, and trying all the different things. And if there's some questions you have about cruising and cruising as a plant-based person or cruising as a person with allergies, please let us know and we will find out that information for you.
Absolutely.
But I felt like the crew on the Celebrity Silhouette, they were just so highly trained, and they really just went out of their way to do everything possible to make our meals super enjoyable.
I think so too. I still can't get over how fun they were too. Like
Oh,
they had fun with us, right?
They picked with us
Yeah.
and made jokes, and
Yeah.
and it really was fun and delightful.
Yeah, yeah, we're hooked.
Yeah. So we'll be talking to you more next week, and hopefully Cheryl will get out a video on this trip so you can see more of it and
Yeah,
everything, and we'll see if we can narrate it or something.
Yeah.
And our house sitter is here. So we will talk to you guys